and gentlemen, you're welcome back to our election headquarters at GbaramatuVoice TV, and we are happy to bring to you the latest up-to-minute coverage on the ongoing election in Bayelsa State. My name is Joy London, and with me, my hosts, Prebo Vanessa and Mr. Naiboy. So, if you've been following the news, have you heard about today's election? What are the current news that you are aware of? We are going to bring you live stories, live news of what's going on in Bayelsa. As of now, Bayelsans are already voting for their candidates, and we cannot exactly tell which of the candidates is going to win. 16 political parties, 14 males and 2 females. Ms. Prebo, who do you think would win Bayelsa election today?
Voting is already going on, so we await the final results from INEC, and as you already said, voting has already commenced and voters are already casting their votes. We saw the INEC guidelines that voting was supposed to commence at 8:30 a.m. and from reports that we have been seeing, voting actually started at exactly 8:30 a.m. and is expected to end by 2:30 p.m. So we've been getting a few reports from our reporters on field of the happenings, security personnel, and how they've been able to maintain peace and order so far. Yes.
And in addition to say, when you talked about who is going to win Bayelsa state elections, it's like a tug of war, and narrowing it down to the 3 major contestants.
So actually, because reports today, I think
because actually we have the Labour Party and that of the APC and PDP. We cannot just narrow it down to just 2 now because the battle, the tug of war is ongoing. So let us look at what will going to unfold later today before we can, it is the electorate that will decide who is going to win, and there is anticipation from every political party that is on ground for this tug of war, and there is hope for Bayelsans to know who is going to be their next governor to rule them for the next 4 years administrative tenure, and it will be something that people have hope. And as the election processes are going, and normally for the INEC guideline have stipulated that 8:30 accreditations and voting process started, and that is the feedback that we've gotten from various reporters on field, and it has been going on well in spite of some kind of issues that happen in southern Niger where a boat capsized. These are issues that we are going to talk about later.
The People's Democratic Party governorship candidate Doye Diri has exercised his franchise in the ongoing Bayelsa governorship election. He says that the people of the state deserve better than Timmy Silva, his major opposition candidate.
There is this particular mindset that when you look at that statement, definitely the Timmy Silva too will going to react on that statement. You cannot just field and make that kind of comment for somebody who is contesting with you that you are better than that particular person. In the same vein, Timmy Silva will react. Yes, so it is something that politicians are known for.
Always, they all say that. They always want to try to be the best. Obviously, it's true. That's true.
Good luck. Our former president, Goodluck Jonathan, and his wife, Patient Jonathan, has casted their votes to in their Ward 13, Twoke, Ogbia local government area.
Yes, the voting process is going, because Bayelsa State, when you look at the totality of Bayelsa State, this election is very key to the Niger Delta people. And the landscape, Bayelsa local government, we have 8 local government areas in Bayelsa State, and voting processes has been going. And from Otueke, that is where we have the Ogbia local government area.
Yes.
And I think Ogbia main town is the headquarters, and Otueke, these are communities within the LG.
I wish all the states successful elections and peaceful conduct of election, but because this is an off-season election and I get worried about the issue of off-season elections, I'll use this medium or this unique opportunity to plead with the National Assembly that we need to block this office in elections. It's very hot. It is not global best practice. He went further to say that a country can elect its people at different times, like America and some countries, but not everybody at the same time. But anytime they go to an election, they elect everybody. So he noted that if the trend of off-season election is based on the interpretation of laws by the judiciary, it may come to a time when the presidential election in Nigeria may be off-season. What do you have to say about his comments after he casted his vote?
To me, I just look at it that it is not like the usual elections. Like for instance, now we have 3 elections that is simultaneously going on in the state. We have the one of Bayelsa and yes, in the country. We have the one of Bayelsa State and Kogi and Imo State. This period is not what is supposed to be, but due to one legal issues or the other, the process of elections have changes, because early this year, that is the general elections in the whole of the country, but something happened along the line, and this is the outcome of what we are seeing. Bayelsa State election, slightly different from the general elections, and when you look at it, become off-season. It is not the particular season where elections supposed to be. So if it happened this way, how do we harmonize them? How do Nigerians harmonize them so that the whole of the states, the whole of the country will? This is a period where we have elections. Yes,
because he's talking about the American system that once it's election time,
it is election.
Everybody knows
it will
that
also be cost effective.
Not this period. November, we have elections in February. We have elections in February, and today now this is the November 11th, and another election is ongoing in 3 states. Yes. It is off season.
And then there are new plans on how to install them to their position. I think it will even save cost and the time. We just know this is the season for elections. Everybody go to your various states, cast your votes, and these are our governors. And we know the next 4 years, depending when Nigeria chooses to review its voting seasons. I think I quite agree with our former president, Goodluck Jonathan. This is what
the legislatures should look into, actually. Okay.
Okay. In talking about Bayelsa State election that is ongoing in the 8 local government areas of the state, where we have the Brass, Ekremo, Kolokomo Pukomo, Nebe, Ogbea, Sabama, and Southern Ejo, Yanagwa, LG. These are the 8 local government areas where the election processes are ongoing. And Bayelsa State, when you look at it carefully, it is surrounded by water, where transporting the electoral materials sometimes takes time before it gets into the locations. If they maintain time like yesterday and move the materials to the headquarters, and definitely they will work according to the stipulated time where accreditation and elections and voting move simultaneously. And this morning we heard about a report that some of the materials, election materials conveyed to Southern Ejo capsized. What actually happened?
I wouldn't know.
Okay, so I think I saw that press release by the votes issue. INEC released a statement that I think they had like an incident. However, we wish to confirm that a boat carrying election personnel to registration area 17 Koloama in Southern Ijo local government area capsized. They went further to say that fortunately no life was lost, as all the election personnel, numbering about 12 of them, and the boat's operator were rescued by the community members. And then they said, however, lost result sheets, power banks, and luggage containing effects of their staff, but no life was lost. And if anything had happened, it would have been maybe Black Friday or something, and we don't know what would have happened today. But if you give thanks to God that maybe nothing happened today. But also, got report that one of the INEC officials was kidnapped. Although we've not really gotten.
We also want to highlight that the Labour Party candidate is already crying. They cry that there is high incidence of vote buying in Bayelsa State.
Looking at vote buying, we'll come into that.
I think vote buying is a situation that is reoccurring.
Yes,
and I wonder what our leaders are doing to really curb it. Labour is actually making a bold statement today that there is a high incidence of vote buying biases. And at this stage in Nigeria, considering the level of awareness that we now have politically and the kind of issues that we have as a nation and as state citizens, do you not think that Nigerians should outgrow selling their rights?
When you look at it, over the years, today I'm here seated with you people. Previously in elections, I used to be on the field giving feedback to the stations. And looking at vote buying, it has become a common practice in Nigeria, where the more money you have, the more vote you get. Yes. So if you do not have the financial muscle at that material point in time, it become a problem. So the one who do not have the financial muscles will always cry out that there is a vote buying. And then the one who have the muscle will stand the person. Because definitely a lot of persons now sell their conscience for maybe 2,000 naira for the next 4 years.
It's a mindset, because what's that for them? 1,000 and something you just do for investing in Nigeria today's economy.
Vote buying is become a tradition, except there is a level of voter education consciously. Yes. There's supposed to be, for instance now, some NGOs who have been seen before now going to communities to tell them that it is good governance. It's not about the money that they are going to give to you at this material time. It is a person who has the capacity to rule the state and bring the dividend of democracy to your doorsteps, to your villages. Well, because when you go to some of the villages, there is no electricity, no pipe bomb water, and all of it. And somebody come to you that I want you to vote for me, and I give you 5,000 naira. So it is a voters' education that can cancel that aspect of vote buying.
But there have been a lot of organizations that have done this.
They've not done it enough because you are not getting results. It means the people did not really get it.
You can't say they've not done it enough, because there is a level of when you look at it, there is this poverty in the rural area. It is what you see that you are going to eat. That is the mentality. So now, over the years, I didn't even go to maybe Yanagwa, the state capital, to meet anybody to get money. So now that they have come to me, let me get what I see is what I'm going to eat. That is the mentality. So if you have abundance of governance, good governance, you have roads, you have hospitals, you have good schools, definitely that mentality.
I think it's a mind thing, and I think educating the masses very well with that. We need to note that there have been reports of suspected tours invading polling units in southern Ijo, Sabama, hijacking materials.
If you talk about in southern
Ijo, something that has been happening in
southern Ijo, for instance, now it has been a flashpoint area in every elections in Bayelsa State. When you talked about southern Ijo, Bayelsa State, hijacking of materials, of stuffs, you have to think what is happening. Various reports over the years has taken southern Ijo as a flashpoint area of where a lot of conflicts, a lot of election violence occur. So what can be done in this particular point that NGOs and other officials have spotlighted that flashpoint? What can be done?
This is the job of the security personnel, because yesterday we got a report from one of our reporters that there is this heavy presence of security personnel, and they were still hearing cases of talks and all of that. So this is the job,
and they came with heavy guns. So I think that's the security personnel challenge.
So what are they doing currently as a security personnel?
We have the security personnel in Bayelsa State to do the needful and to curb the security situation currently going on in Bayelsa State. The Labour Party candidate, Engineer Dengs Radiri, has also casted his votes at Unit 5 at Gudamai, Betiyama Ward 10, Yenegwa local government at about 10:20 a.m.
We are hearing of some reports about this Labour Party and their division of recent just before this election, that there's division and no support for him, and some of his party members are giving their support for other candidates. And I wonder what his fate would be today. I wonder what his hope would be today.
That is politics for you, because at the last point of the game, you see betrayers, you see trust. if you do not have the what it takes to run politics in Nigeria, or at this point in time, there is this, people will come with you. At the last point, there will be a fallout, and that is the fallout that is experiencing. And it is a matter of how can you stand firmly in spite of the fallout, to have confidence in yourself, to have confidence in the few persons who are with you to go for the elections. If crying out sometimes will not help, if the people are falling out, what are they falling out for? That is the first thing. Are they falling out for money? Are they losing faith in his capacity? Those are the things we look into. If they are falling out because of money, what can be done? Because in Nigeria, we find that young people who have capacity, because of lack of fund, were not supported by their fellow young people to go into the field of elections. And that is something that is what people should be looking into. There must be a level of sensitization. It's not this temporary money. It is what will bring dividends to our own people.
As of now, we cannot exactly tell if it was because of money that people began to rather follow. I think that it's a common thing in Nigeria.
He made that comment that it was money. He called some specific amount during his round interview. This was the amount of money that made them, got that division. He stated it.
Shouldn't there be like a law to curb something like this? I think our National Assembly should consider it. We should know that a total of 1,017,613 registered voters are expected to determine the fate of the next governor of Bayelsa State today. And like already stated, 16 political parties, 16 candidates, 14 females and 2 females, including the candidates include the incumbent governor Doyegiri of the People's Democratic Party, the All Progressive Party Congress, Timi Silva, and Eradi Dembonga of the Labour Party. The poll, we have 2,242 polling units across the main local government areas. Bayelsa State is a quite small state, so we should expect that by 2:30 p.m. the results should be ready, and hopefully before the end of today, we should know the new governor of Bayelsa State.
No, I have observation in that regard. It's a very small state. It's not as you look at the local government or the landscape. The Bayelsa State is a riverine area, and it takes hours for you to travel.
No, the travels happened yesterday. Because
for instance,
there's no movement apart from.
For instance, now, if you get to, for instance, in Bayelsa State, the local government headquarters, you get there and get the materials. Then you travel distance to where the polling units are. That is when at the time you arrive there, that is when the election voting process will start. So it's not about the population, but about the landscape, the geographical locations where the communities are. For instance, starting a job, it will take you hours for you to travel from the local government headquarters to the villages. Some of us who have traveled, sometimes we wonder whether it is the same Bayelsa that we are in, or we are traveling out of the country. That is the way it is. There are places that you travel, you get to the sea, before you get to the creeks. So that is how the, particularly some part of the Southern Enjoy area and the brass side of it, where you travel by boat for a long period of time.
So let's go on to the breakdown of the total. Okay.
I was looking at, because this is election period, and there are people who are on ground to tell us exactly what is happening in the election by Bayelsa State, in their various local government area.
Okay, so she was about to give us, before we invite our guests and experts, I think she was about to give us some breakdown on the total registered voters.
According to INEC. According to INEC, record shows that there is 556,085 registered voters, 54% males, and 490,767 female registered voters. And for persons living with disability, we have 880. The News Agency of Nigeria, NEA, reports that the statistics from INEC also reveal that 42% of the voters, government area coalition officers, and local government area supervisors, each 105 registration area coalition officers, 125 supervisory presiding officers, 2,244 presiding officers, 6,732 assistant presiding officers, and 1 consultancy supervisor. A total of 118 domestic and 8 foreign election observers have been accredited to monitor the election across the state. The INEC has pledged to conduct a free, fair, and credible election in which the people will determine their own governor. Let's hope, it's part of the security situations and the vote buying that's already going on in Bayelsa State from reports. We hope that the INEC can stick with their words and give us a fair, credible election that we can trust. We will go on a break shortly, but before then, we would like you to share your comments, to share your thoughts and your ideas. Let's interact together on our hotlines. You can send us videos from your polling units, from the environment in Bayelsa State to 081-434-59986. We will be back shortly.
The 3 states that have elections today: Bayelsa State, Imo State, and Kogi State, and which all these states successful elections, peaceful conduct of elections. But basically, because this is an off-season election, and I get worried about the issue of off-season elections, and I will use this unique opportunity to plead with the National Assembly that we need to block this off-season election. It's very odd. It's not a global best practice. A country can elect their people at different times, like America and some countries. They do not elect everybody at the same time. Yes. But any time they go on to conduct their election, they elect everybody that's supposed to be elected. If we continue with this trend of off-season elections, based on the interpretation of our laws by the judicial officer, it will come to a time that the presidential election in Nigeria may be off-season. Probably that is the time that all of you media people and others will be worried. Look at the American system. Everybody knows when the American elections will be conducted. That's standard practice in other countries. And when I say presidential election in Nigeria may be off-season one day, some people may say, why, how? It almost happened in 2007. I contested as a running mate to late President Yaradua. You know that election. The 7 justices that presided over the case, 3 of them, in their own judgment that elections be annulled, 4 of them sustained the election. And that is why we stayed. If one has crossed over, by now the presidential election in Nigeria would have been off-season election. And it is not the best for a country. And there's easy things to do to make sure that other states, now we have 7 states that are off-season. We need to stop there. And where possible, these 7 states too can be migrated back to fall in line with the other states, and the National Assembly can do that. That is my message for the National Assembly, my message for Nigerians today. On the other hand, I wish the election successful. I've been monitoring what is happening in Bayelsa State. I almost ask people across the local governments, and for now, no major things that we will get worried, apart from the part of Nembe local government, the Basambri part of Nembe local government that have been in conflict for quite some time before the election. Apart from that, I think the elections are going on well, but we cannot conclude until at the end of the voting period. So once again, I thank you and I wish you well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
GbaramatuVoice, voice of the people. GbaramatuVoice, voice of the people. Baramatu Voice, voice of the people. Baramatu Voice, voice of the people.
we don't eat before we go fit vote, because if you know if you vote, if you know if you eat, you know if you go your polling unit. And our polling unit not too far from our area, and I make we say move and buy something chop. You understand?
Today we just come here, just do small things. After now, 30 minutes we don't come off here, we'll go vote. For surely we will go vote, we'll not go stay here. Only 30 minutes we don't come off for here. That's the price. We not see that go for sure.
GbaramatuVoice, voice of the people.
You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, we are live at the election headquarters, GbaramatuVoice TV. Let's bring on our guests, Nengi in the GFA.
Yes, Nengi James is a very prominent Bayelsan who has been working for good governance. Good morning.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir. Morning.
Yeah,
Yes,
good
morning.
afternoon. You are live with Nengi James ON at Ward 6 of Patrick Field in Bayelsa State, where we have 6 units Unit 19, 17, 18, 14, 15, and 13.
How is it going over there? How is it going over there? What's the security situation?
That is what I'm telling you now. For security situation, we have not had a wrong thing from everywhere, but as far as I'm concerned, voting accreditation and voting is taking place. We also observe serious vote buying going on here. As I'm talking to you, crowd of women following one man to give them money. The political parties are hustling who will win. At every area we go, there is vote buying. So I wonder the election, but INEC and security agency are doing their best. Just yesterday about 10 p.m., one of the armored cars of police also had an accident in the road junction. Just even yesterday, some persons in RAC 17 on Saturday job did something very wrong of throwing away beavers, some of the beavers of INEC into the water. But the INEC has replaced the beavers, the result sheet, and that is going on. On Saturday, there was shooting. Somebody is also in the hospital as I'm talking. But presently, you are also aware that an SPO was abducted in Amasoma, Jesse, who was going to Sabama, and the load of INEC material and personnel also capsized for no life lost. As I'm talking to you, the entire security chief of Bayelsa State just arrived and we left about 2 minutes ago, led by the commissioner of police, Alasa, and the United Nations Embassy monitoring group also came, and they are all left. And I want to inform you that the place is like carnival because monitoring bargaining is going on. Everybody is looking for where the money is. I wish they follow the money there. But to inform you, to my glaring eye, the EFCC was there, but they couldn't even find out that something is going on. So I wonder what the
They couldn't find out, or they choose to pay one card.
The wider place here that people are giving money. They don't went. The leader of the team went straight to the Channel TV crew and grabbed an interview and left. So I think I wonder what ICC and EFCC crew, maybe they are just with the dressing exercise. But as I'm talking to you, all polling units are continuing voting, and you can see the time is about 12 o'clock, and voting is still going on. And no violence here, no threat. Every party is busy trying to convert voters to their side. Some do not have voters cards. They are also looking for how they will get the daily feeding permitted from one end to the end. The place is like carnival because you know when six units are clustered in one place, you know that the environment will be too beautiful.
Thank you, Mr. Nangi. Can we have some of the voters on this call?
Some boys escorting her, and she's moving now to where she will give some money that are voted, and that is the situation.
We appreciate this information. Mr. Nangi.
It's very visible. I think the highest bidder, as far as I'm concerned, hear what I'm saying, the highest bidder will win in this world.
Hello, Mr. Nangi, can you hear me?
Can I talk briefly on
after here we move to Tolu, that is where you have number of voters situated there. So That is the present situation. But Bayelsa, the weather is very clement. The situation, the streets are being patrolled by the military officers. They are being patrolled by police officers. And
hello, Mr. Henry, can you hear me?
We will have a H3 election with the vote buying. We are saying very visible.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Dengue?
Are you there?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, one thing I want
Thank you so much.
In a seminar that was conducted by police and other partners, a chairman of the political party, I will not want to mention his name, stood up in the seminar, was in attendance, and told the commissioner of police, he's still the commissioner of police, that yes, this seminar is welcome, but the area you are talking about vote buying, Commissioner, I want to inform you that vote buying will not stop because political leaders are absolutely keep people in abject poverty. People are poor. People are very poor, and leadership is very bad. So what do you expect from people who will not see money and development? Therefore, nobody can stop vote buying. I think I quote this because of what I'm saying today.
Yes.
The man was right in that seminar that we are in attendance, that people are hungry.
Thank you, Mr. Nengi. Thank you, Mr. Nengi.
Vote buying will not stop, Commissioner. And the Commissioner of Police was here also, and I was informing the press.
Well, we think Mr. Nengi can barely hear us. But we would have loved to ask some of the voters.
Something that will never stop. People must chop, the man must work. Thank you.
Mr. Nengi, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, it's
hello. I think we lost him. Thank you so much. We really appreciate Mr. Nengi. Talking about the vote buying, we just addressed that, and from all reports, vote buying is really dominant going on in Bayelsa State today.
You know, it has been something that we discussed earlier in this course of this Bayelsa State election. And I said earlier that in most cases, 4 years, you will not see who is representing you, who is the governor of the state, who is coming down to your community. And definitely at the point, this material point of election, that is when you see who is representing you, who is the governor. So coming to the community to campaign for election, and this election period of voting, that is where people will, let me use this opportunity to buy salt for myself, let me use this opportunity to get some money and buy a basket of garri. As for Chief Mengi said that 6 polling units in one place, you see that there will be a market where people will go there and hustle for their daily bread, that they have not seen the government presence.
I have several concerns about the information you are just giving to us, because I'm wondering how people, I don't really think it's abject, I don't know, maybe I just cannot relate, but it's poverty. Poverty can make you sell your future. Poverty can make one sell their future. No, that's pretty surprising for me. It is.
It's really disturbing because he made mention of EFCC's presence, and they did not see, because you were going to ask him that.
I was going to talk about that.
They didn't see the whole vote buying thing, or they chose to be blind.
It's a crime. See the statement Chief Mengi is making. He said that the people are even closely looking for the people who are buying the votes, and they are campaigning for their candidates in a voting center.
On a practical sense, if you are in a process of voting, these are dramatic experiences that you see.
Presiding officers are there. Supervisory officers are there.
There is a high level. Supervisory officers, presiding officers don't have a say in that vote buying. It is the security and other officials that monitor that aspect.
Yes, exactly.
Our hope is that all of this should come on all of this.
It has become a ritual or a tradition in every election in Nigeria that the more money you have, you know, people sometimes have a lot of money piled up somewhere waiting
But
for
sir, I do
the
attribute
elections.
the fact to education. I attribute this to education and I attribute it to poverty.
Education.
How many times?
I think education and educated mind is a lack of foresight.
You hear what James was saying, that there was a seminar.
No, it will be up to 10,000.
It will be up to.
You hear what James was saying, that there was a seminar where different political parties were invited, and somebody stood up and said that
a chairman of a prominent political party
he said that it will be difficult to stop vote buying, and emphasis on the issues of poverty. Everybody want to eat at that material point in time. So what can be done when people are gainfully employed, when infrastructural developments are in your particular communities? Definitely when you give orientation, people will listen.
Okay, are you saying until all of that is done, until we have jobs in our communities, proper infrastructure, until then we should justify vote buying? We should accept that the electorates are really saying, give me small money and take my votes.
It is not enough.
Sell my rights. Because I think they actually belittle themselves. There's so much power given to you as an electorate to say you have the power to choose who is leading you, and then you're selling it for billions. Like in the Bible,
you must understand. You must understand. If you are eating gari, you might probably think that everybody is eating gari. It is not so. It until when you meet with the people practically, that's when you know that your story is better, because you are seeing gari to eat. What about those who are not getting that gari to eat? Whose advice are you going to give to an
all this money they get?
I think that most people
are they not be eating since?
I also think that voters would have this mindset that, oh, even if I vote for this person and he doesn't win, it might not even reason me. Let me just take this money and then feed myself and all of that. And
there is temporal way of placating the self.
We also have reports of
the right way.
We also have reports from Tombia Market where we have poor voters turnouts and people did not really come out to vote. They're just going about their daily business.
And I'm even surprised that people can still sell at the market when votes are still ongoing. I thought the market is supposed to be closed. So if we are hearing that the security personnel analysis are doing their job, the recent report tells us that they are not really doing a very proper job.
Or maybe they have not seen it.
What do you mean they're not seeing it?
To my own observation,
people are buying votes, Vanessa.
To my own observation is that it could be those who have voted, is my own observation, could be those who have voted, and sometimes probably those who have not been educated.
Mr. Yako, this is 11:56 here. Those who have voted, voting is still ongoing.
Yes.
Voting is supposed to end by 2:30.
And when you look at it, maybe lack of measures by the security people, enlightenment, because this is a time you go and vote for someone and not a market period. So definitely there has not been enlightenment process in that regard. That is why sometimes voters apathy also, if I go and vote, with my vote count, let me go to the market and hustle for myself. Those could be the mentality of the people.
Some people say that.
I think that contributes highly to the lack of interest for those who are already going about their daily activity. But I really thought that the security personnel could have prevented that.
Because if they have restricted movement, they would have also restricted market activities. That is how it ought to be. So why the Tombia market is still busy?
There ought to be disciplinary actions.
Of course there should.
So I don't know why they've chosen.
No, I think there should be. I think there should be disciplinary.
Definitely, if we could get feedback from people who are within that premises, why the market is busy, because today is supposed to be election in every part of Bayelsa State.
Yes.
Because travelers too has been blocked, because today is a voting process is ongoing, because a lot of movement of things could people could carry different things into voting areas. So that is why the restriction is important. What happened to Tombia market where the people are busy selling their tomatoes and different items?
How can we still call this election credible and fair when vote buying is?
Maybe they're just tired of the government and their activities. Maybe the
by the reports we had yesterday from the indigenes of the state, we learned that they were very eager. Well, maybe it's just a few of them, but the reports are telling us that there's a lot of vote buying.
From indigenes.
Because yesterday we thought that by today everybody is going to do the right thing. Yes, the way the reports came in, the way they were saying the opinions. Okay, I think we have a caller. share this video and share our live sections there on social media channels. Interact with us. Your voice counts. We want to hear your voice. Share your videos and your pictures to our hotlines at 081-434-59986. I go again, 081-4345-9986. Do you have anything to contribute to this conversation? You've been with us, and what do you think about the reports that we are getting?
Joining us next is Bobby Kirikare, a GbaramatuVoice correspondent in Yanegwa, who's going to give us more insight on the happenings in Yanegwa, the whole atmosphere, and what has been happening so far since voting commenced. And before he joins us, I would like to commend INEC for, they arrived early. Started distribution, accreditation, and all of that early, and this did not really happen in most places during the presidential election. So we're going to give that commendation to INEC for at least arriving early enough to commence voting.
If there is some time, because earlier preparations give this aspect of material arriving very early at the various LGAs, and when you look at Bayelsa State, very strategic. If you do not plan early, definitely there will be a split over of elections. So that preparations was a top gear, and from the various feedbacks that gotten, that materials arrive early, and that is a plus to INEC. Yes. And we look forward to a credible election.
I don't think it's about them because they're not doing so much work to start a presidential election. People understand that they are working to 36, how many states in the country, right? Now they are attending to just 3 states. Bayelsa, Kogi. If they did anything less.
No, but we're commending them early.
I'm commending you a little.
Commending them in this aspect is not bad. And at the same time, the sensitization process, INEC, voters education INEC is given, it seems to be very, very not enough. Because if you go to the riverine area, for instance, how many INEC officials have taken time to go, except some few NGOs that volunteer themselves, let's go to the creek and sensitize people. But what is INEC doing? Because in various times, various elections, we have been in the creek, so I know how people could not hear. Even they will only women in our communities. It is only election day that they will even carry their nets to go for fishing. But somebody will tell them that, Mama, you going for fishing today? You are going to vote. Today, vote. Which person? That is when people, those political agents will now start to do enlightenment at that material point in time. You hear what Mingy James was saying?
Yes.
That everybody is lobbying to get a vote for their political party. Is that how it's supposed to be so? INEC should do more on voters' education by moving to the communities. If they cannot go there, let them organize NGOs, community stakeholders, for engagement on how it is important for voters' education. It is not when few political candidates will go there that vote for me. Yeah. It's not supposed to be so.
What was that? Maybe I was not hearing me.
Bobby will join us shortly from Yanagwa, and we look forward to hear more details of what is happening from the state capital, Yanagwa, on the election processes. Bobby, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you doing?
We are very fine.
Yes, you are live with GbaramatuVoice Election Headquarters. Can you tell us what is happening in your own area?
Okay. This morning we'll be taking the records across the region, some three in here. Okaka, Banshan, and right now we are going to another few minutes at Ochiuchi. Then from there we will be proceeding to Okolo. So what we will observe so far this morning is basically looking at turnout. I don't know why people are not coming out to vote, even everywhere is being deserted, all the streets are empty. and I don't know why people are not coming out to vote. Then apart from according to some polling agents that I had discussions with, they said people are scared of coming out to vote. Then apart from that, we are still experiencing some vote buying across some polling units that we have been there. So I think those are some of the major factors that we are experiencing so far in voting at the very peaceful polling that we have been to, and very peaceful.
Can you tell us the exact location, the polling unit, and the ward?
Okay, we've been to Manchester CDB, a primary school at the Manchester School field. Then we've been to Okaka, P3, Market Square. We have been there. And we also been to former women affairs commission. We also get in the morning.
Is it possible we could get across to the voters there and talk to them? Why the low turnout?
Okay, in that case, I'll join you back short because I'm going to particular polling across here that I am already in the polling unit. So once I get there, I'll join you back on the studio.
Thank you very much, Bobby.
So you see, vote buying is dominant. You know, I was saying something yesterday. Remember the fact that last election, the 2019 election, the APC candidate, David Lion, won the election. And because of the discrepancy with his deputy, his mandate was given to the PDP current governor, Doye Diri. And I did say that I think that will affect the interests of the electorates in Bayelsa State. And two reports we keep getting today: low turnout of voters, vote buying. Come on. Is that not enough to make an electorate feel like this is not we are buying votes?
My concern is the fear. What could be the cause of the fear?
Yes, that's too. Coming out to vote. I wanted to ask him. I really wanted to know why
the fear.
I think we'll ask that question
is it because of lack of no security presence? What could be the fear?
But from reports, security personnel are heavily on ground.
So now there is low turnout. Did it mean that all the low turnouts they moved to the Tobia market to sell their product?
Yes, people are afraid of it. Actually going to the Tobia market to sell.
The voting
they go out the capital city of Bayelsa State. So if they are selling in Tobia market today, that says a lot.
It is worrisome to see that people are not coming out to vote in mass for their preferred candidate who mark the affairs of the state for the next 4 years. And good governance, it is when your vote is your right. It is when you vote that is when you have a voice. And maybe probably the fear that my votes are not counted.
Could be that,
so
yes.
This could be the fear that if I go and vote, after all, INEC will do whatever manipulation that will happen. So what is the cause of the fear? Are votes not counted? Or voters' education is not properly carried out, that the election will be peaceful? These are the questions that we're likely to ask people again, because every elections there is this dynamics that whether it is 10 persons that go out to vote, definitely there must be a winner. It is when you vote, that is when you can have the authority to say that I voted for this election. And why is it that we don't have the democratic dividend in our own area? Your vote is your voice. So we'll wait to hear from Bobby again and speak to some of the voters on ground to see whether it is actually fear that is depriving them not to cast their vote, or there is no money and people are tripping to where there is more money.
Fear can only be a security situation. I don't think there's anything they could be scared of. What do people fear on the voting in Nigeria? It has to be gunshots and And because there are reports of thuggery in some locations, we can only worry that they are already afraid. When you hear that there is a report of thuggery, heavy guns and all in SYZ location, it makes you worry. What if I go there now and they call me? I don't want to leave my wife, I don't want to leave my children. Our hotlines are still open at 081-4345-9986. I'll go again. You can send your pictures, your videos, your comments, and we can have you live on the studio at 081-4345-9986. But we have
still on the Bayelsa state election that is ongoing, and trying to get feedback from our reporters in Yanagwa and Southern Niger areas of Bayelsa state as the election processes are still ongoing. And as our hotlines are still on your screen, you can call in for what is happening in your area, send in pictures, videos, evidence of what is happening. We've already had a lot of stories of vote buying that is taking place there, and a lot of people in Tumbia market area busy with their market activities. And what could be the issue? And Bobby called and said that we have a caller.
We have a caller. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Good day. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. I think we lost the call. You can still call us on our hotlines at 08143.
Let us look at some of the dynamics in the various areas. What reports we've gotten from Yanagwa local government area in Bayelsa State, where particularly when the last chief negligence called about 6 polling units in one particular area where a lot of persons are busy like a market getting money for elections. What can Nigerian government do in terms of this? Is there a specific penalty for those caught in the act of vote buying? Is there any way that the election processes, because normally there is a stipulated time where you campaign yes. Period ends. So why are people taking money to the polling unit to campaign to get?
I'm even worried about Bayelsa State because when we had the election in Delta State, I went to vote. When we were there, we could not even talk because even when we were asking each other, who did you vote? We were like,
no.
we were that cautious. We were not saying it. And when we were counting our whatever was counting, when you say APC 1, PDP 2. So I'm really surprised that it could be that obvious and nothing is done about it.
You know, there is a new development in Bayelsa State where the executive governor raises concern over PDP members agent barred from Nibe Basamabri, and that is coming from Bayelsa State. During raises concern over members agent barred from Nibe Basamabri and also other areas, and they have been stopped from entering for the areas where APC strong supporters are. And what could be, who spoke after casting their vote? And if executive governor make this call in this regard, what would be the issue? Doyeduri spoke after casting his vote at this ward sample in Kolokumo, Kukumo local government area of the state. We have concerns about the Nibe Samabri. Our party members, most of them have been excluded. Our agents have been stopped from going into Nibe. That is very serious concern. Our party has written to INEC and they have to take drastic actions to ensure that people are allowed to vote.
There are reports that the electorates in Ward 13 Unit 6 of Oluwasiri community and Ward 7 Unit 5 have cried out over the use of armed thugs dressed in military uniforms, threatening to gun down any member of the PDP found within the vicinity voting.
Armed thugs have reportedly invaded polling units in Sabama local government area with heavy gunshots and hijacked over election materials. It was learned that about 9 a.m. at Agorobene Unit 6 and 7 and 8 in Ward 11 of the local government, voters destroy election materials. According to source, attempt by the electorate to challenge the armed men were replied with heavy gunshots. This is happening right in that ward. Yes, Ward 11.
So this is like this is sad.
I think we understand the fear now. Exactly. The fear now. If it was me and I heard that thugs are somewhere not so far away, why would I come out? I love my family, right?
That is where we talked about the security presence, because earlier the deployment of the police and all the security
agents. This is the same thing we were actually saying yesterday. Like today we will prove it. Because yesterday everyone kept saying police members are everywhere, soldiers are everywhere, they are going into the different local. We said it was today we were going to prove it, and it's really appalling that at a time as this, we still have to experience. In fact, this one is even worse.
No, there was one thing
that says that the thugs are actually dressed in our official military uniform. That's a lot.
Yes, they're dressed in military uniform.
How is that happening?
Are we even sure that there are security personnel there? How are we sure that they are there? Or they were the ones that impersonated security personnel?
And how did they get the uniform? And how come the security personnel in Bayelsa State have not been able to cover this? It eventually happened.
It is a very high security threat to Bayelsa State elections.
Today, they gave the press briefing yesterday, giving us assurance that today we are going to have a very peaceful fair. Can we trust them?
That is the question.
That's the question we are throwing to the security personnel of Bayelsa State.
Then there is one thing that is worrisome in the sense that from this source, electorate challenged the armed men were replied with heavy gunshots. Why would they have made an attempt to challenge the armed men?
Yeah, I think that's the extent of voters wanting to exercise their franchise. And that's the extent that they can vote to, maybe for their life.
Probably because of the uniform.
Or maybe some of them, the person they are loyally following or rooting for.
You know, when you see a military people with uniform, you have confidence. Not knowing that the kind of uniforms they wear is not the real people. So when you try to say, officer, why are you carrying the ballot box? Unknowing to you as an electorate, you try to tell the officer that no, it is not for your position to take these things. It is we that want to vote.
It's actually a report that just commented that the election materials for 5 units, namely 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22, had reportedly been hijacked by thugs from the ward headquarters located in Ulobobiri in southern Ijo local government area of the state. The incident has left majority of the electorate in Ulobobiri disenfranchised, with voters calling on INEC to cancel the votes in the area. Confirming the incident, angry voters told newsmen that there is also no voting in Ulobobiri. All materials have been hijacked.
Hijacked by who?
Yes.
I would really love to follow the story to see. Let's confirm if the votes in these areas will be cancelled. Because we don't want to be surprised later today to hear that voting happened here and they're counting results.
Yes.
It would, the outcome of at the end of today's voting, we'll get to know which area was flashpoint. Yes, whether they will cancel it or not. Meanwhile, our hotline is still there for you to call, send pictures and videos of what is happening in your locations in Bayelsa State election, various local government areas. Send in your videos and pictures. The hotline is on the screen. You can get the line and do the calling.
Also to note that INEC has begun collation of the election results. So we are having Bobby again. Hello, Bobby.
We are ready.
All right, thank you so much. Let's have them.
The voters.
Can you call Bobby again? Same. Yes. You know, Bayelsa State elections, we look forward to hear from the voters who has been on ground during this process, and there is this level of fear on ground. Let's speak with Bobby and know what is actually happening from the election.
Hello, Mr. Bobby. Good afternoon. Hello. Can we have some of the electorates on the call?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
What's your name?
Hello.
Yes, sir. What's your name? Good afternoon. And you are voting from where?
Bayelsa.
Where in Bayelsa State are you calling from? Did you vote today? What's your analysis of today's election? From reports we learned that some people are not coming out at all because they are afraid. What do you think is the cause of the fear? Okay, you think the election is going well? Where's your polling unit? A PA11. And everything is peaceful over there? Okay, are they buying votes in your polling units? Are they selling votes? Are people selling their votes and are they buying votes?
No. Everybody voting for the choice, and that is all.
There's no vote buying in your location. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
That's a good report. Relief. Hello, Mr. Bobby. Can we have someone else?
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. What's your name and where are you reporting from? Hello?
Okay, we've lost him again.
We've lost him again.
Yes, the issue of vote buying, and there are people who said that their places are cool. That is a good one. The Diary speak shortly after casting his vote. The GbaramatuVoice has been on for the Bayelsa state elections, and the processes in some area, there are flashpoints, and there are some places that are peaceful. There are places that a lot of turnout, like a market square. There are places that is very few for left to cast their vote. These are some of the issues, feedbacks we are getting from the field, and we are also getting some report in regard to the dynamics of conflict-related matters where talks have been threatening voters. What could be the way forward?
We'll go on a very short break now. Our hotline remains 081-4345-9986. You can call us, you can text, or you can send us pictures and videos on WhatsApp. The number again is 081-434-59986. We're on break, right?
GbaramatuVoice, voice of the people. GbaramatuVoice, voice of the people. GbaramatuVoice, voice of the people.
Welcome back to the election headquarters, GbaramatuVoice TV. Let's listen to the incumbent governor, Doye Diri.
I happen to be the executive governor of Bayelsa State and still in the process of to be re-elected. Let's listen to his speech and his reactions from the pool. You know, we have a lot of issues and reactions raised by the executive governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Doye Diri, in the various polls where some of his people who are going to vote for PDP and agents, at the same time supervisors have been barred from various polling units that have a strong supporters of APC.
To get your impression of the exercise so far, you just cast your vote. It seems like a seamless process. What's your impression so far?
I think this is an improvement on all the other elections that have participated from, and very seamless, very fast. If it continues like this, then I want to believe that
look at the reactions and the statement from the executive governor of Bayelsa State, Doye Diri, when he said his people has been bad.
It's worrisome that we cannot have a complete free and fair election. We have been having this issue over time, and we really need like a lasting solution to this issue. And then we want to hear the next voice should be hearing now is the voice of His Excellency, the Governor of Bayelsa State, Governor Doye Diri.
Congratulations for successful voting in this election, but I just want to get your impression of the exercise so far. You've just cast your vote. It seems like a seamless process. What's your impression so far?
I think this is an improvement on all the other elections that have participated from, and very seamless, very fast. If it continues like this, then I want to believe that INEC is improving on not only their facilities, training of the personnel that are handling the process.
Are any concerns so far? Would you say that is it too early to say?
It's too early to call.
Okay, but any concerns so far? What's your message to INEC? I know that we still have some hours left in the election. Any concerns or any message you want to send across to INEC?
Well, like I told you, it's too early to call. We are still putting our ears to the ground as to what is happening in other polling units. But here, I'm very satisfied with the process, with the personnel that are handling the process. For concerns, yes, we have concerns about Nembe Basambri, where party members, most of whom have been excluded, been stopped from going into Nembe And so that's a very serious concern. Our party has written an official letter to the chairman of INEC. And INEC has to take drastic actions to ensure that our people are allowed to go in there to vote. In any case, what we call for is a free, fair process where the beavers should be used, just as I have done here today. So let the accreditation be by the beavers in Nembe Basambri. So special attention has to be taken on Nembe Basambri because everything points to the fact that in Nembe Basambri, PDP members are chased out of their community.
Okay, Your Excellency, earlier on, INEC just confirmed that one of their staff and materials were kidnapped in Sagbama area. I don't know if that report has gotten to you, and what is your take on it, sir?
Well, we escalated that report even to INEC. We escalated it to INEC. So we are happy that INEC took prompt action by letting the country know of what has happened in Bayelsa. And you know it's not only that. We had issues in southern Niger where we had a boat that capsized. So there were two major issues yesterday. The Sagbama Ward 6, where some criminals came and looked with those materials, and INEC is promptly taking action. So I'd like to appreciate INEC on that. Again, for the boat that capsized, they have already alerted us, so we are also aware and they are taking actions on that. I think those were the only two incidents that we recorded from yesterday to today.
All right, Your Excellency, lastly from me, these few incidents that you've confirmed, the abduction of the personnel and the few other incidents that you have raised, do you think that, what impact do you think this would have on the overall conduct of the election in Bayelsa State?
Yeah, you know, we have been raising the issue of the violence, character and person of Timipre Silva. Over the years, every election he is involved in, you experience violence, you experience lawlessness. And even in Nembe Basambri, the name and the character behind what is happening in Nembe Basambri is Timipre Silva. And so I don't want to have an overview of APC. No, it is, we have to reduce it to the character of the person. And Timipre Silva has been a violent person in every election. If you recall, the leader of the John Nation, Chief Ike Clerk, wrote a treatise on him and concluded by asking him why he has refused to drop this is forceful and violent way of winning elections. However, like I keep telling everybody, God is on the throne and we are standing against him in his violent way and forceful way of winning election. You will recall also that his deputy governorship candidate in Tuambras threatened the people of Tuambras, and that if any of our party members come, they should be thrown into the Atlantic Ocean, and that they are not the first people to die. And you will agree with me that that pair is a violent pair, and that's not what the people of Bayelsa deserve.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
The live coverage of the elections, the Bayelsa State election. This is GbaramatuVoice TV.
You know, it has been heartwarming here in the headquarters of GbaramatuVoice Election, covering all feedback from Bayelsa State, and it's been wonderful talking to people on the field where different reactions are taking place, and from the Yanagwa local government area, we've gotten a lot of mixed reactions, and to that of Southern Niger, and we're also in Obia area where the executive former president Goodluck Ebele and his lovely family have voted, and a lot of different reactions are still coming. and we will also be speaking to people on the field and give us what is happening, exactly things that is happening on the field, and tell us the situation of things in Bayelsa State election.
Hello.
Okay, right now we are heading towards Opolo axis. Opolo is a central town in Yanangwa as a whole, and one of the deciding factors when it comes to Bayelsa state elections. So we are going there to see how far they have voted this morning, and able to get some voters to speak to the studio. So we are walking down, since there is no vehicles to pick us down there. But so far we are having heavy military presence in Yanangwa. Police, army, and all sort of view has been parading the places so far. I think these are one of the issues we have been dealing with right here in Yanangwa. And I think some people are still going out to vote by this time. So I think after now, I think a lot of people might still be coming out to vote, since maybe some believe that they're just waiting for the morning queue to die down a little bit before they will go and cast their votes.
Okay, so what was the voters turnout like in general?
To be sincere,
said that there are low turnouts in some areas, and some are saying that voters are already showing up in some areas. So what's like the general voters turnout?
Okay, so far this morning we have been to up to 10 different polling units. All I can say for sure is just one polling unit that I have seen a massive voters turnout. But the rest, they are not being encouraged.
Which is that polling unit?
Okay, I think is the one that we just had the live interview with APA2 Final Town Hall at OTO2 when I was at Bayelsa State.
Bobby, what do you think is the cause of the low turnout of voters? Is it as a result of fear?
It can be as a result of fear. It can be as a result of fear, and secondly, people doesn't trust the umpire enough, because everybody is saying that it won't count, vote doesn't count anymore. So some people don't just want to waste their time. Then apart from that, even apart from voting, some people believe that they will not get the good dividends of governance after maybe casting their vote for a particular candidate. He will come and he would not do the will of the people. So, and that's also results to vote buying. Some people believe that even if it's 5,000, 10,000, I will take the money to go and do whatever I want to do, because after this time, nobody still care for us. So I think those are the factors that are deciding it right now.
Okay, there have been reports of vote buying in some polling units. Are there any reports of or incidents of vote buying from the polling units you were?
Yes. So basically what they are doing now, they are just taking down the names of the voters. After voting for a particular party, you just go and write down your name. Then after voting has closed, then people will now be giving their money. I think so that let people should not suspect any form like they are buying votes and so that I can see agents inducing that. So basically, if you are going to the polling unit to go and vote, they will just call you aside and tell you, okay, vote for PDP, vote for this, we are giving this one, They will not take down their names. Then the person will go and cast his votes, then come back to them, then the person to maybe sit for a particular spot where others that have casted their vote for this political party are also seated, so that their money will be given later. I think that is a system that they are using. Instead of bringing the cash to the studio to share to everybody will be seeing. But I think that is the system now they are using.
In terms of writing down the names of electorate, how many spots can you find out? Is it just one particular spot? Because there are different political parties there.
There are different political parties writing down votes of electorate, people that have voted for them, different political parties.
So how do they know that social person is voted for their party to write down the names?
Because I can say I want to vote for PDP and go there and do something else.
I know we're going to have that discussion.
How can they be sure? Maybe we should ask them who do the payment that question. People don't know. Or do you know, Mr. Bobby?
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Yes. Okay, I said probably because maybe some of them has already aligned with the security agents. So some of the agents will now follow the voter to the cubicle to see if actually he is completed for their self-political party.
Do you have any idea of this amount that they are selling this vote for, buying these votes?
Hello, I can hear you.
Do you have any idea of the amount that these votes are being sold for?
Okay, yes, I saw someone saying we are giving 7,000 naira, some were saying we are giving 5,000 naira. I think those are the two amounts I have seen and heard so far.
Okay, so how is this security situation like in the polling units you were?
Okay, I think we have every polling unit I've seen up to like 3 or 4 police officers. I've seen 3 or 4 police officers in all the polling units that we have been to, and so it has been very peaceful because already these people have already had these discussions with this officer. This is what we want to. Our people are coming to vote. We don't want to cause fight. Allow them to vote, and probably they might have also taken their fair share of whatever that is going on. So that's why this vote buying is actually coming up because the officers are just looking at the agents doing their thing, sitting down, drinking water, and doing their thing without even telling them, hey, you people should stop this, don't do this, but there is nothing of just here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bobby, thank you very much for the good work you are doing over there.
You're welcome. So we are to Opolo. So once we get there, I will call through to see to report the situation of things over in Opolo community.
Thank you very much.
It has been
I think we're outside.
Yes, there is a total silence in regards to the information we're getting from Mr. Bobby.
In every new minute there is a new story. There's an upgrade.
There's this aspect is that when
5,000, 7,000.
people write down their names for elections because of obvious reasons that they want to see you paying money at the polling unit. So what happens if Mr.
He writes name for this party and writes for this party.
It's a secret ballot because you don't just cast your vote and show to the public that I voted for this party, I voted for PDP, I voted for Labour Party. So how do you know that this person is going there to vote for social party and you write down the name of that candidate? Are you sure that you are giving the money to the right person if that happens?
Because I can write my name for this party, I write my name for this party and for that party and for that party, and I get paid for all.
Well, he did say, he did tell us now that the agents actually have something like alliance with the security officials.
Yes.
So as you are going to vote, the security officials are there at the polling booth watching you to print for their candidates.
Do you think
they are able to find? That's what he said. With what he just you heard it right.
No, I thought he said that these security personnel are aware that they liaised with this political.
If you heard it, the police might have collected a fair share because that's the reason they would see this kind of vote buying going on and they are quiet. And then when we asked him how are they going to know? If you notice, I initially said he wouldn't know, and then he told us that it looks like the agents already have free conversations with the security personnel. So that as I'm going to the booth, the agents are following me to confirm that's actually when they put.
It is a two-way thing.
My goodness.
It is a two-way thing. One in the sense that we have polling agents who understand the people within that particular area. It is a key player that is often taken as a polling agent who understand the people. So definitely you know those persons they are probably spoken to before coming to the polling unit. So those persons they have trust that are promised that are going to cast the vote are those people that would go to that particular agent to write their names. And in spite of the security presence, There are manipulations that can even take the security unaware. It is the role of most times, the polling agent play a very critical role in that aspect of vote buying.
The presiding officers can kick against it.
Yes, because in most cases there is a distance. There is a distance where the police officers will stay when the election process is going, because they are not closer to the ballot box and know that this is what is happening. There is a distance.
But they are not far away either.
But they are watching and
they are seeing. The inch is usually not far. They are aware. They are just not so far away.
And I think this leads to why most people don't want to vote.
For instance, if I witness something like this,
I'm thinking that this low voters turnout, this is one of the reasons. Aside the security, if I go
and you know the way I emphasize on the vote buying the other time, I was saying, how can somebody say they are conscious? How can somebody say they are right for how much? It cannot be more than 10,000. It's now I understand this. When I know that after I finish voting, my vote might not even count. It's not about who is voting. It's about how much. It's about the highest bidder who has the most money to buy it. They won't line up and vote somebody that is at the end of the day. What they like to do, or is the highest bidder that will give me my 7,000. I will reach to buy shawarma.
You understand? That's what I was saying earlier.
You know what he said? I said this is not reasonable.
Yes, I was saying it earlier.
Look at it earlier.
Can I understand some of them?
During the campaign, there are some kind of violent statements that were made to follow up the campaign process. If anything happened, kill. If anything happened, do this. If anything happened, do that. If you are in Bayelsa State and you have this kind of issues related to campaign, will you still have the interest to go out and cast your vote? If people are having low turnout, I do not have doubt in that aspect, because a fear has already been established in the mind of the people that if you are coming to vote, if care is not taken, a danger will happen. So will you still have that courage to go there and vote? These are issues that we should be looking into. How do you make your manifesto to the people? It is the great your blueprint that people will have that desire to go en masse to vote. If Bayelsa State has a low turnout, we should look critically at the various statements made before the election. These are some of the things I'm looking at. So it is not out of place for us to see that in social area people are going to the market. Let them go to the market. Market is peaceful for them. So if you are going for election and you are perceived that there will be danger, will you still be there? Because I wonder whether you can put your hand in a fire. You are seeing fire. Let me go and test this fire.
Well, the reports we are getting for the areas that are peaceful is majorly in Yenagua.
Yes.
And you know, Yenagua is the capital of Bayelsa State. It's the city of Bayelsa State. So rarely do we really hear issues of thuggery and all of that in the city states of
the insecurity.
In the city and capital of states. It's usually in the small villages, the rural areas, and it's almost the same thing what we're having in Bayelsa State today.
But then again, I keep wondering that these candidates, if you are selling your votes and then the highest bidder wins, you as the candidate and the winner, how would you feel? Do you feel victorious that you have won the election?
It's about the party winning, the candidates winning, the party winning. We just hope that they all deliver on their manifestos. That's our hope. And then I wanted to say something about the buying and selling of votes. When you know that, or for instance, I wanted to vote for APC, and then maybe APC came to say, if you vote for my candidate, I will give you so amount. When I still wanted to vote for APC before, I will collect the money and still vote for my candidate. Maybe that's not me, Sha. I'm just trying to think like the average Nigerian person. Personally, I might not be interested in that money. But the average Nigerian person will reason after all, I wanted to still vote for you. So I will vote and still collect my money and go and buy shawarma. All the PDP person, no conscience was. So I think I'm not seeing different sides.
Yes, this
the vote buying.
Do you know that if you have actually been in a polling unit, it's a very sensitive place. It's not just what you are saying that you go and collect money, you go and vote for. It's a very sensitive place. There are people strategically placed to monitor what you are voting for.
We've been voting for how many years?
If you are, for instance, you voted for APC and you go and meet PDP in order to get money.
No, I'm not saying I'm going to meet PDP now.
I'm just
That's not what I said. I said let's say I came. that my candidate in my heart, I'm not saying it's you, I'm not thinking of the average person. I wanted to vote for APC, and then APC came to me and said, if you vote for me, for instance, APC, I'm not saying APC is the one doing that, and you say if you vote for me, you give me 7,000, and 7,000 can buy shawarma. Then I know I wanted to vote APC now. So even if you give me that money, you did not give me that money, I will still vote APC. So I can agree. I say, okay, I will vote APC. Give me 7,000. I will go and buy shawarma.
So if you are voted, and to me, it's something that vote buying should be discouraged. Totally. And people should work towards it in a very. And
I think as patriotic citizens, even in our presence, to the best of our life, because sometimes silence is actually consent. Silence is cooperation. When we see these things going on, we should speak, we should talk. I believe there is a lot of silence about it, because I believe there are people that are there that will still refuse to collect money. There are people that wanted to vote APC, and APC is the one offering them money, and they say, no, I don't need it, I will still vote, I don't need that 7,000 sure. And they are the ones who are just seeing the situation and keeping quiet about it. I think that if all of them begin to speak, if they all begin to say, I'm going to be patriotic, I'm going to kick against something wrong, if they all speak, I think it will put some level of tension on the mind, because even those guys selling and buying votes are also careful.
Yes.
I think that can also help.
If, for instance, now you are a House of Assembly member and you have been doing well for your people, and definitely somebody else is coming to counter you, because you have confidence in that person, you will not sell your vote in getting 20,000 naira or 7,000 naira. Your conscience will tell you that through this person, he has done health. Hospitals in our community, good schools. So what am I looking for? Apart from those social amenities are there with you, and opportunities are created. So people will not have that mindset of get votes, because they have seen that in a full 4 years, you don't see this person coming to the communities to do things. So definitely this is the right opportunities. So if you go for this kind of voters education, these are some of the feedback you hear from people that even there we don't even know them after the election, because there was a particular song by some of our Joe artists who said, it is lion eyes that they have. So what they want that particular point in time, they have accumulated so much money to buy that vote and retain that power. So they don't care about the kind of infrastructural development and human capital development that you want. They don't care about it. What they care about is that they have the money to buy the votes. And the people too, because no infrastructural development to compete with that 10 naira that is coming, they are going to collect and sell the same thing until somebody who have the people as act do something for the people. That is when all these aspects of illegalities and issues will be a thing of the past in the electoral system.
So we have a live update. Chief Timi Press Silva, APC governorship candidate, cast his votes at polling unit 4, Dukorako Central Open Space, Okwama Brass local government area, Bayelsa State. So he has just casted his vote.
Okay. It is a good thing that as a governorship candidate, what is expected of you is to be seen casting your vote in a very peaceful and orderly manner, and that is what the APC governorship candidate has done so far. And we get feedback of how the whole situation look like in their various areas, because in most of the areas where you see peaceful nature is when they have one big man looking at the situation, they will tend to maintain peace. When they find out that things are no longer there, there's this tendency of misreactions. So we look forward for a very peaceful election throughout the various polling units and wards and local government areas in Bayelsa State.
Okay, so let's go on a quick break. We'll come back, we'll continue discussion, but please feel free to drop your comments, your questions, use the hashtag Bayelsa Decides, Bayelsa Election, GbaramatuVoice Election Headquarters. Please don't forget to share your thoughts, share what's happening in Bayelsa at the moment. Let's go on a short break and we'll be back. Stay tuned.
I'm giving you to sign.
Excuse me. Come out there, come out there.
Your Excellency, I don't know if you should say congratulations for successful voting in this election, but I just want to get your impression of the exercise so far. You've just cast your vote. It seems like a seamless process. What's your impression so far?
I think this is an improvement on all the other elections that have participated from, and very seamless, very fast. If it continues like this, then I want to believe that INEC is improving on not only their facilities, training of the personnel that are handling the process.
Are any concerns so far? Would you say that is it too early to say?
It's too early to call.
Okay, but any concerns so far? What's the message to INEC? I know that we still have some hours left in the election. Any concerns or any message you want to send across to INEC?
Well, like I told you, it's too early to call. We are still putting our ears to the ground as to what is happening in other polling units. But here, I'm very satisfied with the process, with the personnel that are handling the process. For concerns, yes, we have concerns about Nembe Assembly, where party members, most of whom have been excluded, our agents have been stopped from going into Nembe, and so that's a very serious concern. Our party has written an official letter to the chairman of INEC, and INEC has to take drastic actions to ensure that our people are allowed to go in there to vote. In any case, what we call for is a free, fair process where the beavers should be used, just as I have done here today. So let the accreditation be by the beavers in Nembe Assembly. So special attention has to be taken on Nembe Assembly because everything points to the fact that in Nembe Assembly, PDP members are chased out of their community.
Okay, Your Excellency, earlier on, INEC just confirmed that one of their staff and materials were kidnapped in Sagbama area. I don't know if that report has gotten to you, and what is your take on it, sir?
Well, we escalated that report even to INEC. We escalated it to INEC, so we are happy that INEC took prompt action by letting the country know of what has happened in Bayelsa. And you know, it's not only that. We had issues in southern Niger where we had a boat that capsized. So there were two major issues yesterday. The Sagbama Ward 6, where some criminals came and looked with those materials, and INEC is promptly taking action. So I'd like to appreciate INEC on that. Again, for the boat that capsized, they have already alerted us, so we're also aware and they are taking actions on that. I think those were the only two incidents that we recorded from yesterday to today.
All right, Your Excellency, lastly from me, these few incidents that you've confirmed, the abduction of the personnel and the few other incidents that you have raised, do you think that, what impact do you think this would have on the overall conduct of the election in Bayelsa State?
Yeah, you know, we have been raising the issue of the violence, character and person of Timmy Silva. Over the years, every election he is involved in, you experience violence, you experience lawlessness. And even in Nembe Basambri, the name and the character behind what is happening in Nembe Basambri is Timmy Silva. And so I don't want to have an overview of APC. No, it is, we have to reduce it to the character of the person. And Timmy Silva has been a violent person in every election. If you recall, the leader of the John Nation, Chief Ike Clerk, wrote a treatise on him and concluded by asking him why he has refused to drop this is forceful and violent way of winning elections. However, like I keep telling everybody, God is on the throne and we are standing against him in his violent way and forceful way of winning election. You will recall also that his deputy governorship candidate in Tuambras threatened the people of Tuambras, and that if any of our party members come, they should be thrown into the Atlantic Ocean, and that they are not the first people to die. And you will agree with me that that pair is a violent pair, and that's not what the people of Bayelsa deserve.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
The three states that have elections today, Bayelsa State, Imo State and Kogi State, and which all these states successful elections, peaceful conduct of elections. But basically, because this is an off-season election, and I get worried about the issue of off-season elections. And I will use this unique opportunity to plead with the National Assembly that we need to block this off-season election. It's very odd. It's not a global best practice. A country can have can elect their people at different times, like America and some countries. They do not elect everybody at the same time. Yes. But any time they go on to conduct their election, they elect everybody that's supposed to be elected. If we continue with this trend of off-season elections based on the interpretation of our laws by the judicial officer, it will come to a time that the presidential election in Nigeria may be off-season. Probably that's the time that all of you media people and others should be worried. Look at the American system. Everybody knows when the American elections will be conducted. That's standard practice in other countries. And when I say presidential election in Nigeria may be off-season one day, some people may get say, why, how? It almost happened in 2007. I contested as a running mate to late President Yaradua. You know that election, the 7 justices that presided over the case, 3 of them, in their own judgment that elections be annulled, 4 of them sustained the election. And that is why we stayed. If one has crossed over, by now the presidential election in Nigeria would have been off-season election. And it is not the best for a country. And there's easy things to do to make sure that other states, now we have 7 states that are off-season. We need to stop there. And where possible, these 7 states too can be migrated back to fall in line with the other states. And the National Assembly can do that. That is my message for the National Assembly, my message for Nigerians today. On the other hand, I wish the election successful. I've been monitoring what is happening in Bayelsa State. I almost ask people across the local governments. And for now, no major things that we will get worried, apart from the part of Nembe local government, the Basambri part of Nembe local government that have been in conflict for quite some time before the election. apart from that, I think the elections are going on well, but we cannot conclude until at the end of the voting period. So once again, I thank you and I wish you well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
GbaramatuVoice, voice of the people.